Welcome into Steelers Latest, your daily spot for all news and information related to your Pittsburgh Steelers. Just remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content to stay up to date with all the news about your Steelers. But big news has broken early this morning, as at 7 a.m. it was announced. George Pickens is traded to the Cowboys. I guess he was too disgruntled with the DK Metcalf trade earlier this offseason. He could never really settle down about that. He wanted to be the number one guy. Guess what? The Steelers sent you to a place where they already have a number one guy also. You're still going to be a number two with Dallas. Now, what did the Steelers receive with this trade? The Steelers received from the Cowboys a 2026 third round pick and a 2027 fifth round pick. Now, if you ask me, kind of sounds like we might be getting a little fleeced. I think George Pickens is truly worth a second round pick, talent wise, at least a second round pick. The issue is it is his contract year. So the Cowboys aren't really guaranteed to have him longer than this one season, unless they're willing to go out there and sign him with willing to pay him close to probably 17 million at least. At least. But I'm not really feeling too confident. I do think the wide receiving core stays pretty solid. I think Calvin Austin the third, and Roman Wilson will improve their game. Roman Wilson, it will be the first time we're seeing him. Maybe the Steelers know something we don't. Calvin Austin, he looked good in the slot last year. I think they'll be able to fill in the big shoes that George Pickens is going to leave behind. Wow. This is shocking just more because Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin over the past couple weeks were all talking about how we want to see DK and George Pickens on the field. George Pickens must have just been a real hassle in the locker room or just in the front office the past couple weeks after the DK Metcalf trade for this to happen because it really didn't sound like the Steelers were leaning this way or really wanting to do this, but he might have forced our hands, so the Steelers got rid of him. It's also weird because trade rumors just in the media were cooling down about George Pickens. Now the Steelers were trying to shop him day two of the draft. That's second and third round this year's draft. They were trying to shop him. No one really bit on those offers. So it was in the works during draft time. I would have preferred to see it more during draft time, getting rid of Pickens, so we could have got a pick this year and see if the player we take with those picks actually produces earlier than next the 2 seasons from now at this point, because that's when we're gonna have to wait to see if this trade really was worth it. If we don't hit on the players in the third round of the 2026 or the fifth round of the 2027 draft, it's really gonna go down as one of the worst trades from the Steelers in a long while, because I think George Pickens does have the potential to be a top five receiver in the league, maybe even top three in the league. But let's move on. Does George Pickens didn't trade it affect Aaron Rodgers possibly coming to town? I don't think so. The only reason I posed that question is because the two teams he was looking at with Minnesota and Pittsburgh both had clear wide receiver ones and wide receiver twos. With Minnesota, you had Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. With Pittsburgh, you had DK Metcalf and George Pickens. George Pickens is now gone. Does that maybe hurt the chance of Rodgers coming to town? Because it did seem like he wanted a loaded receiving core for the next team he plays for if he plays another season. Does this mean he's more likely to retire? Once again, don't think so. I still think he's coming to Pittsburgh. I'm thinking by May 27th, we will hear about Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh. Doesn't matter if you like it or not. I think it's pretty guaranteed Aaron Rodgers is going to sign with us. It's just a matter of when. The 27th, why the 27th, you might ask? That's when OTA start for our teams around the league. So I think that's a good timeline for Aaron Rodgers. Until then, though, nothing really too new about Aaron Rodgers. Hopefully, he can figure out the life issues off the field and make a decision with us here soon. But let's talk about these ESPN power rankings that also came out recently. As the Steelers, honestly, Higher than I thought they would have been ranked. Number 17 makes sense though. Definitely at number 17 because of Mike Tomlin's pedigree and nothing else. If you look at the quarterback room of Mason Rudolph, Skylar Thompson, and Will Howard, that is a bottom 5 team right there if you just look at the quarterback room. You're like, "Oh my goodness, this team is horrible." But you talk you, add Mike Tomlin and the rest of the lineup, the rest of the depth chart to that quarterback room, boosts us up to the middle of the pack once again. I've seen people commenting mediocre Mike. This falls in line with your comments about mediocre Mike because number 17, as mediocre as it gets, the only more mediocre you could be is if you were number 16. But we're number 17. I think the roster's pretty well put together. That's also a pretty solid sign. If we just had a captain to drive the ship to lead this offense to more success, I think this team could be an easy top 10 team in the league, but that, of course, has been our biggest hole since Big Ben has left town. Let's just talk about the depth charts real quick. Running back room, you add Caleb Johnson. I think our running back room's going to be phenomenal with him and Jalen Warren at there. Our wide receiving core, you got DK, who's still the clear number 1 in this league. You got Roman Wilson and Calvin Austin. I do think Roman Wilson will probably be that wide receiver 2 now because Calvin Austin has been so good in the slot at the end of last year, where we'll just keep him there. He's short, quick, and has burst. I think that lends itself well to the slot position. He also ran some great seam routes, and Russell Wilson was able to find him late last year. The offensive line, the interior offensive line is pretty solid. The only questions are at right and left tackle, of course. And then tight end room, you got Pat Fryermuth and Darnell Washington. Those are 2 dogs in the tight end room. Those are 2 solid tight ends. Darnell is our blocking tight end, of course, goal line threat also, while Pat Fryermuth is the receiving threat at tight end. Hopefully, they get more touches this year. That's something that's really frustrating. We never seem to get our tight ends involved as much as I want. On the defensive side, the defensive front, we know about them all. They're lights out. You add Derek Harmon to the mix. The run game, we should be able to stop next year. In the middle of the field at linebacker, Peyton Wilson, Patrick Queen, both of them should elevate their game again this year as Peyton Wilson advances into the second year of his career and Patrick Queen advances to his second year with Pittsburgh. They both know the system a little bit more. They both should be able to produce even better this upcoming season. In the secondary at cornerback position, adding Darius Slay was huge. In the secondary with Joey Porter Jr., Beanie Bishop, Brandon Eccles, and Lincoln Corey Trice. All of them should be solid enough at cornerback. Of course, JPJ is locked down. Darius Slay. He used to be locked down. If he still has it, this secondary should be shut down all season long, especially with Minka Fitzpatrick and Deshaun Elliott holding it down at the back end at the safety positions. So just with those players, you get someone to drive the ship, we should be a top 10 team in the league. That's all I got to say about these rankings. I'm still surprised we were number 17. Any other team with our quarterback room would be 28 or lower. But rookie mini camps are coming up. Let's close it off with rookie mini camps as they start this weekend, just a couple days away, the 9th to the 11th. It's going to be an exciting time to see what comes out of this. Hear the stories coming out of rookie mini camp. My favorite thing about rookie mini camps not are the rookies, they're more the undrafted free agents we bring in to work out during rookie mini camps. I always find that intriguing. There's always 1 or 2 undrafted free agents per year that kind of excel when it gets to the regular season. Someone gets hurt, these undrafted rookies come in and then they end up balling out. It happens every year. Someone's making an impact for the team. That's my favorite thing about rookie mini camps. My most exciting prospect to hear about after rookie mini camps is Caleb Johnson. I'm just excited to hear what the Steelers beat writers have to say about his presence on the field. He's a big body back. He should have a dominating presence on the field, and I'm excited to hear more about Caleb Johnson. Let me know in the comment section below who you all are excited to hear about from rookie minicamps. I know most of you might say Will Howard, might say our number one pick, Derek Harmon, but let me know in the comment section below who you're excited to hear about during rookie minicamps. But this has been Steelers Latest. I've been your host, Cole Dennis, and I will see you tomorrow.